every window this weekend, I wrote this morning, every window, the NFL, bravo. I mean, this isn't a sarcastic golf clap. This is great. They nailed it. Thursday night, Sunday, all three windows, Monday night. Every window has at least one highly significant game. And three of the windows only have one game. 1 o'clock Sunday has three must-see games. Three of them. Steelers-Ravens, both 6-6. One team moving one way. The other team was moving this way until they had a little problem with the Bengals last Thursday night. This is, depending upon what the Bengals can do at 4-8, this is round one. Round two is still coming in Week 18 in one of the best rivalries in football, and I don't know who to believe in for this one because both of them right now have not been impressive most recently.
No, they really haven't, Mike. I mean, and this is going to be a classic, Harbaugh versus Tomlin, drag down, knockout, slobber knocker, in the AFC North, I feel like, on Sunday. And it's going to come down to whoever has the ball in the fourth quarter and will they be able to make a play or not. And it's just, we've seen this time and time and time again over the decades we've had Mike Tomlin and John Harbaugh with the Steelers and the Ravens, the continuation of the rivalry between those two franchises that goes back a long, long, long time. And we don't really need to discuss how that came to be. But I just think that it's going to be one of those games where, look, somebody's got to make a play, and neither team is performing all that well, but somebody's going to be able to do something to get ahead and, just kind of try to take control of that division as we go into the stretch run here. Because, look, the Steelers' vibes are not great. Right. I mean, they're just not. And the vibes were getting better with the Ravens until they came out there a week ago on Thursday night, on Thanksgiving night, and really just sucked up the room. I mean, it was an ugly, ugly, ugly offensive performance against a defense that had been much maligned throughout the course of the 2025 season. And really, you can go back even further than that with the Cincinnati Bengals. So I'm really interested to see who comes out with a little bit more urgency. Because just because you've got more urgency in the beginning of the game doesn't mean you're going to sustain that throughout the course of the game and be able to win in the end, just based on what we know about the rivalry between these two teams.
And one of the problems for the Ravens, Lamar Jackson has not looked like Lamar Jackson in recent weeks. 1 touchdown pass, 3 interceptions in the last 4 games. He's gone 3 straight games without a touchdown pass. That is the longest streak of his career as a starter, including postseason. And it's just one of those eyeball things. We had seen enough of Lamar Jackson playing at a very high level that when we don't see that guy, it's conspicuous. And really, from the moment he came back on the Thursday night game against the Dolphins, after missing several weeks with the hamstring injury, you could see he wasn't all the way up to high gear. And that made sense. It's going to take a little time for him to get back to full explosion. He's being smart because with a hamstring, if you push it just a little bit too much, it grabs, and then you're back to square one. But it still hasn't been there. And we've had 1 week it was a knee, 1 week it was an ankle, last week it was a toe. The injuries are just kind of gradually building up. And to his credit, he's fighting through it, but he's not the guy that we're used to seeing. And we keep waiting. If I'm a Ravens fan, that's all. Like, is Lamar going to be back to Lamar? And without that, it becomes hard to win. Now, maybe they could still beat the Steelers because their offense has not been impressive, to say the least, in recent weeks. But it's almost like who's going to stink less?
Yes.
That's kind of what it feels like. Like, no one's in a position to go grab it. Like, who's going to hold on and emerge from this thing with a bad game that they found a way to win?
Right. And what's been interesting to me, Mike, is to see the way the defenses have performed, in recent weeks with both of these teams. I mean, I thought that the Steelers had a really good shot last week against the Bills. That's based on the fact that the Bills were missing both of their starting offensive tackles. And, what we know about Pittsburgh's reputation, right, is that their defense gets up and their defense is going to be able to rush the passer and all. And they really didn't do a very good job of that. They didn't really, keep much pressure on Josh Allen. In fact, I mean, they let up the most rushing yards in a home game since O.J. Simpson, right? Like that's something you just don't really expect to see that. And so if you're Baltimore looking at this, you think, well, hell, I mean, I guess this is going to be a Derrick Henry game. And it probably should be. You think that going in, especially that'll help you take a little bit of pressure off Lamar Jackson. And if you're Pittsburgh, you're thinking, my gosh, well, we can't necessarily, we just can't allow that type of thing to happen to us again, right? We have to be able to stop the run a little bit so that we force Lamar Jackson into situations where he has to make a play, because as we saw last week against the Cincinnati Bengals, it just has not been there for him, whether it's because of the injuries or something else, we don't necessarily know, but it really hasn't. So I want to see how that defense is going to come out and perform against what should be a heavy dose of Derrick Henry on Sunday.
I think you're right. I think that's a perfect way to look at it. Sell out to stop the run and force Lamar Jackson to prove that he's back. The risk you're taking is he just might.
Lamar Jackson.
and then you got a problem. Then you got a problem. Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.